Welcome to Legacy Leaders, a weekly talk show with national and local thought leaders on issues impacting the South Florida Black community. Now introducing our host, Anne-Marie Sorrell.
Hello and welcome to Legacy Leaders. I'm your host, Anne-Marie Sorrell, President and CEO of the Mosaic Group. Today, I'm joined by Eulois Cleckley, who's the Director and CEO of the Miami-Dade County Transportation and Public Works Division. Welcome, Eulois.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Definitely appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today.
Oh, I'm looking forward to speaking with you. You have such an amazing track record. And I hear there are exciting things happening in transit in Miami-Dade County. As we know, it's one of the largest metro areas. And, there's so much happening as it relates to transportation in South Florida. So really excited to hear about not just your background experience, but also what's happening in public transportation in Miami-Dade County. So let's get started.
All right.
So let's talk about your background. So from my understanding, you have about a 2-decade span of experience in transportation. So, tell us about your background and how did you get to Miami-Dade County public transit?
Sure. And I always appreciate that question because my career is an example of how somebody can enter into the transportation industry and have a long-standing career. So I'm always appreciative of letting folks know my journey. I'm from originally the Washington, D.C. area. That's where I was brought up. And as I kind of matriculated to figure out where I wanted to go to college, I went to one of the best and largest HBCUs in the country, North Carolina A&T State University. So Aggie Pride. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to study economics and transportation at that institution. And that was my first entry into this wide, vast world called transportation and the impacts that it has on everyday people, businesses, and quite frankly, the world. There's not one thing that happens without transportation being attached to it. And so I found it fascinating and I studied the discipline and I had the opportunity to have multiple internships and had the opportunity to actually enter into the industry at a very early age and held a variety of different management positions that throughout my career ended up to be very fruitful to get me into the position where I'm in today. So I've worked in the federal government as a transportation specialist in headquarters at the U.S. Department of Transportation. And that afforded me a ton of opportunities to go around the country and help many states and municipalities around transportation and transportation planning. I've worked at the Washington, D.C. Department of Transportation, doing regional statewide planning, transit planning, and as well as leading field operations for Washington, D.C. I've worked in the private industry on the supply chain and logistics side, as well as a consultant, helping, again, states and municipalities all around transportation. I've owned my own business for a short period of time where I was helping underserved and minority communities with respect to understanding the transportation planning process, helping businesses get contracts and the like with Prince George's County, Montgomery County, as well as Washington, D.C. And I worked on several major projects as a consultant, owning my private business as well. But most notably, I would say the past decade or so, I've had the opportunity to have leadership positions, working one at the Houston Galveston Area Council. It's called the Council of Governments, and it's a metropolitan planning organization, which is responsible for 8 counties within the Houston Galveston region. And I was responsible for transportation planning, economic development that covered about 6.8 million people within the Houston Galveston region. And then for youngsters that are out there that sometimes don't consider this as an industry, I know that there's so many opportunities, regardless of the discipline that you study. There's a space for you here in the transportation industry. So that's my background.
Wow. So your background is pretty vast, and you've gone from different stages, different levels of government, as well as the entrepreneurial route So that is really, really impressive. And thank you for definitely encouraging our young people that may tune into this program, or parents that tune into this program, to look at transportation and many opportunities, because you're right, transportation is never going anywhere. We're always in
Absolutely.
need of transportation, and it's always evolving. And so with that being said, particularly for Miami-Dade County's Department of Transportation and Public Works, what are some of the programs, initiatives, transportation services that you provide to the community?
Absolutely. So most folks are familiar with our transit services that we provide. So for the county, we are the primary transit operator that provides Metro bus service. We provide Metro rail service, as well as Metro mover service. So on the bus side, we have approximately 100 routes that we have that is serviced by 800 buses. About 586 of those buses are what are called compressed natural gas buses, and we are growing our electric bus fleet as well. So eventually, we'll have 100% of our fleet to not be diesel operated, which is a huge benefit for the community. But our Metro bus service is about 70% of our ridership, and is really the juggernaut of our operation. Our Metro rail service is a 25-mile, 22 station type of service that's connecting people to parts north and south of the county. And we continue to, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but the specific projects that we're looking at expanding that service is something that we're very excited about. We have our green and our orange line service that gets people to where they need to go, but more importantly, it makes that great connection to the airport as well, especially on our orange line, which helps support tourism and moving tourists without having to rely on using a car to get around to where they need to go. But it really helps to connect those major economic generators throughout the county that are so vital to the economic sustainability here from Miami-Dade County. So that service is something that we have, and has been valuable for moving people around. And then more specifically in downtown, we have what is called our automated people mover systems, or Metro Mover. It's an elevated system that's autonomous, and it's something similar to what you would see at the airport if you ever go to the airport and ride on that people mover system. Is the same version of that, but it connects to major commercial areas downtown. And so those of you who live downtown, live in proximity to that system, I encourage you to use it, because that will get you to where you need to go from 5 a.m. to midnight. And there shouldn't be a reason why you need to drive around downtown. You just use that system. But also, we provide on the transit side a on-demand service called Go Connect, and this is something that we are growing. We have 4 zones currently, that's going to expand to 10 zones. That is going to allow people to basically hail a on a platform, to hail a vehicle that's similar to the experience that you would have on Uber and Lyft. It will be a shared ride, but it's a flat rate of $2.25. And as long as your trip starts and ends in within that zone, that service can get you to where you need to go. And we have experienced very equivalent wait times for people that hail those rides, akin to what you would experience on Uber and Lyft. And so we encourage people to take that service as well. And that's something that's growing and has been in high and great demand, and we're excited about it. And then lastly, on the transit side, we do provide a what is called paratransit service. So those folks that need specialized transportation services, or not as able-bodied as we are, we have a way that folks can book trips to take care of everyday needs as well. And so it's a very expansive system. It's the 15th largest transit system within the country, and we are in a position now where we're about 92% of our COVID ridership levels, and we continue to grow and we continue to expand the service. And so that's on the transit side. That's what we've been famously known for. But also on the public works side, we do have over 3,000 traffic signals that we're responsible for, 9,000 miles of roadways, approximately 200 bridges. We have 198 miles of canals, And we also do stormwater and drainage projects as well. And so we cover the gamut, all things transportation infrastructure for the county.
Awesome. So, Eulois, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we're going to come back and continue this discussion.
All right, very good. Thank you.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
At DRT Behavioral Services, we provide culturally sensitive mental health evaluations with thorough treatment plans, incorporating alternative forms of wellness, not just Western traditional medicine. Besides medication management and psychotherapy, we provide education to people in the areas of minority mental health with classes on your diet's impact on mood and sleep hygiene for better rest. We also offer weight loss therapy, massages, and facials. Visit brainlovehelp.com today.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Welcome back, Eulois, as we continue our discussion on Miami-Dade transportation. Now, I want to ask you this question because, I've worked in transit for a little bit of time, and public transportation often has, different stigmas, or, where we've been in a community in South Florida where everybody has cars for the most part. So it's not like other cities where people are so used to public transportation to get around, like New York, for example. So how, with the growth of the population, especially in Miami-Dade County, are you seeing more people utilizing public transportation than before? And has the perception of public transportation changed any?
Sure. So the pandemic has really impacted the way people choose to get around, and frankly, the way people work. And so throughout this country, one of the industries that was hit very hard in terms of that shift in that behavior was transit. You had everybody across the country that because of the pandemic and health scare and the like, and trying to do social distancing, basically ridership tanked, and it's starting to recover nationally. And here in Miami-Dade, we are one of the most recovered systems throughout the country. And so, partly because, of course, there have been such a vast number of individuals that have decided to move to South Florida. A lot of folks that are coming from both coasts to come here, and some people who have come from cities that are accustomed to transit systems, like you mentioned, and are very familiar with the way and the ease that you can use transit to get around town. However, I do believe that in the United States, as compared to other countries, and specifically in South Florida, that there hasn't been as much of a focus from an individual user perspective of how easy it is to get around using transit. And that's something that we are looking at doing a better job in terms of communicating not only the services that exist, but this should be your primary thought when you start to decide of how you want to get around town. And because of what we've learned through the pandemic, what we're realizing is that the commute patterns have changed, and you have more people that are working from home. And so our system needs to be able to adapt as well to allow those services to match up with the change in behavior. And so, as an example of how we've been able to focus in on doing this, is the fact that we've completely have done what is called a re-optimization of our bus routes, which we just got passed out of Board of County Commissioners a couple of weeks ago, where we will start to implement very soon a new system that will add more frequency, which means more buses, less wait times, and will add better routes to get people to where they need to go much quicker. And so, with that, hopefully, we will help to support the growth in the ridership on a bus system. And then, as we kind of communicate out and kind of market our services even more, we want to see more people using our people mover system as well as our Metro Rail system moving forward, particularly as we have future projects that are going to be expanding both of those systems to get them to where they need to go. The stigma on public transportation, I don't think is well founded at all. I think people think I think people talk about the people using the system, and those people are our customers, and our customers are the residents and taxpayers that live here. And it's our responsibility to make sure that we provide a sound service, but our service is safe. Our service can get you where you need to go. Our service is clean. And at this point, we just are encouraging people to just try it once. And once you try it, I think it'll change your perception about what transit is.
No, absolutely. And that's why I wanted you to definitely shed some light on that, because I think, again, particularly in places where it's high volumes of car usage versus places where it's a norm, it's definitely like a transition, or, to get people to shift their mindset to go from, car driving to using different public means of public transportation, which, is helpful for our environment. It's helpful for, the ease on traffic and so many other ways that, public transit can help our community. And with that being said, so you are working on your master plan. You have other programs such as your SMART program, and then also your Vision Zero program. Do you want to touch on those?
Sure. So the big program that we have is what is called a SMART plan, and that's the plan that we're focused on in terms of expanding our existing mass rapid transit system. And so I'll just run through a couple quarters real quick just to give a update and so people can understand all the great work that's going into to move this county forward from a transportation perspective. Right now, we do have our bus rapid transit project called the South Corridor. It's a 20-mile all electric bus operated service that will end up creating significant travel time savings for people that live in Florida City, Homestead, parts down south of the county to get to downtown. It's a project that we received funding from the Florida Department of Transportation, the Federal Transit Administration, and the county has contributed to this project. We're building 14 iconic, what we call rail-like stations, so level platform boarding, the same type of experience that you experience on a Metro Rail system, you'll experience on this BRT system, and we'll be able to get folks from down south, which is one of the most highest growing areas within the county, to parts downtown. So that project will be done within the next year and a half, and we're excited to get that project to revenue service, and people will receive the benefits of that. The next project that we're working on is a commuter rail project to connect downtown Miami to the Aventura Brightline station, and there will be 5 stops in between. We will have this service run on the existing Brightline tracks during the times when the freight trains and the intercity Brightline trains are not running. And so, simply put, that will provide greater connections and more trains from Aventura to downtown. And that's the southernmost segment of what is called the Coastal Link, which eventually is going to connect up through Broward, through Fort Lauderdale, and eventually to West Palm Beach. And so it's going to be a regional connection moving forward. We're also looking at making a connection from the city of Miami to Miami Beach from a project called the Beach Corridor, and that's expansion of our existing Metro Mover system that will end up having stops at 5th and Washington and 5th and Lenox, and provide that one-seat ride and connect our existing people mover system, Metro Mover system to the beach. And so we're moving forward with that. And then the project that is of extreme importance to the county, it's a significant equity project for the county. It's the North Corridor, and that's the expansion of the Metro Rail system that exists today towards the Broward County line. and expanding it from the Martin Luther King station up 27th Avenue. And we continue to work with the state to advance that project and provide that transportation connection that people have been asking for decades. And that project is progressing. And we have other projects as well as connecting folks out west along Flagler Street, which is a project that's being led by the state, but supported and will be operated by the county to provide those connections, to provide more rapid transit to move people from the western part of the county to downtown. So all of those corridors are made up of the SMART program. And we plan to spend about $6.2 billion in transit capital investments. And so real money, real investment, and we're excited about that. The Vision Zero program is something that it's really focused on reducing the number of fatalities and serious traffic injuries based off of people traveling around. So right now we have over 370 people dying on our roadways every single year due to traffic fatalities. And we really need to reduce that. And so we have a variety of different projects that will assist with doing intersection improvements, figure out ways to slow people down, and just make our infrastructure much more safe. And so we're working with our municipalities on those projects, and we'll continue to seek funding for the federal government to move those projects forward. And so those are, and I think you had one more.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll come back and wrap up with one more and then some upcoming opportunities that you may have.
All right, very good.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Your organization's ability to thrive is dependent upon your vision, hard work, and the people you employ. Wolf Creek Consulting is a top-rated executive staffing firm specializing in placing professionals in finance, IT, healthcare, and construction. We're a boutique executive staffing firm that focuses on recruiting the best and brightest candidates that are not aggressively pursuing opportunities, but are keeping their options open. From recruitment to workforce management, we offer solutions that reduce your human cost and turnover. We work with clients under several different options to include permanent placement, temporary, and temp to hire. Our clients are our partners, and we work to understand the job requirements and skills required for a candidate to be successful. Intelligent Staffing Solutions. To learn more, please give us a call.
When quality care is a priority for you and your family, choose Pediatric and Family Health and Wellness Center.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás hoy?
Muy bien, gracias a Dios.
Okay. Bien. How are you?
Welcome!
Miami-Dade Group. We are the largest distributors of Black content in the state of Florida. We editorialize the success and achievement of the Black South Florida community. Our platforms are print, digital, and broadcast. We are Black excellence.
All right, well, welcome back, Eulois. So, wow. Let's talk about transit-oriented communities, as well as, opportunities that are coming up in transit. So I don't know if there are procurement opportunities for small businesses that may be out there listening, but also we know there's a bus operator shortage around the state as well as other places. So are you experiencing a bus operator shortage or any other shortages in employment as well, or employees?
Sure, yeah, we absolutely are. And just one point on the transit-oriented communities. This is something we're very much focused on. There's an affordable housing issue here within the county, and we have in a pipeline approximately 6,000 affordable units that we will be building in proximity to our transit stations. So be on the lookout for that, and that's a way to reduce the high cost of housing and connect it to transportation to get people around to where they need to go. With respect to our employment base, yes, we, along with every other transit agency, are struggling with keeping bus operators and hiring bus operators. And that's why we've come up with a very aggressive recruiting campaign where we're offering $5,000 for new operators to join our team to be able to help service the residents and the businesses here within Miami-Dade County. So I encourage everybody to take advantage of this opportunity. The bus operator position is the gateway to other managerial and technical positions within the department. And it's, again, a great way to come in and start off your career and have a long-standing career. So come join the team. We're always looking for great people, and we need to continue to have our workforce at a level that can provide the service that's necessary.
Absolutely. So, are there any closing thoughts that you would like to share with our viewers, as well as, how can one learn more about and stay abreast of what's happening with your department and all of the exciting changes that are happening in transit in Miami-Dade County?
Sure. We have a website that people can Google and go to. It's pretty straightforward, miamidade.gov/transportation. All on our particular website, you'll find all the activities that's going on within the department. You can sign up for newsletters and continue to stay abreast. And then those folks who are interested in learning about how to join our department, we have opportunities listed and posted for careers with the department. So biggest thing I want everybody to know is that we're fully committed to making improvements to our transportation system and to ensure that our system is safe, clean, efficient, and well connected and can get people to where they need to go.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Eulois Cleckley, Director and CEO of Miami-Dade County Department of Transportation and Public Works. Really appreciate your time and you being on the show today. And thank you all for tuning in. I'm your host, Anne Marie Sorrell, President and CEO of the Mosaic Group. We'll see you next time on Legacy Leaders.